Leading us into Tom Brady audio, I think it would be a good kind of a tie-in if you were to play first the pregame audio. Because that actually refers to Tom Brady, right?
It does, yeah. So I like Alex Smith. I've always thought he was, a pretty interesting guy. But now they're working him into the ESPN pregame broadcast, and they did a really, really weird thing yesterday. You were watching this with me, right?
Yeah.
It's called the quarterback room. And I guess, the point of this is that Alex Smith was a guy who was drafted super, super highly, and then when he was in Kansas City, they brought in Patrick Mahomes, and he's just he's going through, hey, here's the dynamic of the quarterback room, which, not to overrate my brother's own experience, but I've always thought it was really, really cool. That's a unique relationship. My brother replaced a guy who was a couple years older than him, and then my brother was replaced by a guy who was a couple years younger than him. And they're all still really, really good friends. It's a unique relationship. But the way that ESPN is doing it is they have 2 shots of Alex Smith on each side of a table, and one of them is supposed to look like mature Alex Smith, who has his hat on forwards. And then on the other side of the table, there's a guy who's supposed to look like young, hip, disrespectful Alex Smith, who has his hat on backwards.
The old one, clean-shaven, khakis.
Yep.
The younger one, backwards hat, scruffy beard.
Has his phone out the whole time.
Had to film it and then go shave and maybe get a haircut and then do it again. It was very strange.
It's a very, very half-assed idea.
Okay.
And they're talking to each other.
But they're wasting this technology on Alex Smith.
And so what they did was they did a 10-minute segment on, the relationship between somebody being replaced and
so
the
Alex
new
Smith,
quarterback.
older, mature Alex Smith gives an opinion.
Correct.
And then younger Alex Smith says,
shut up, old man.
That's not that far off.
Okay.
And he actually said, put your phone up. We're in a meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, this is a waste of time. But I say all that to say that they talked to Drew Bledsoe, who certainly had 2 of the more impactful versions of this in NFL history. One with Brady and then with Romo. So I went back and pulled, a longer version of the clip that was viral, and this is not great for Tony.
Barring any unforeseen circumstances, Tom will be the quarterback.
My reaction will simply be to do the same thing I've done for 9 years, and that's to do whatever I can to help my team win. That means continuing as I have to help Tom.
Are you hurt, frustrated, or how do you feel?
Next question.
That's a bitter pill to swallow, no question, but it's also the right thing to do. I take pride in the way that I acted through that time and helped us win a championship that year.
Way to go, 12! You're the man, baby. You are the man.
And also, at this point, they're showing when they got the first ring under Brady, and they're hugging, they're tapping each other on the head. It's clear that Bledsoe has just a tremendous amount of respect for Brady in all of these videos.
You have to believe as a quarterback that you have somebody that's always in your corner, and a lot of times that backup quarterback, those guys are that cheerleader that's going to be in your corner even when the whole world's against you.
So it all begs the question, do I owe it to him to be a mentor? Oh, how much longer do I have to listen to this guy?
By the way, that's the 2 Alex Smiths.
See?
Put your phone away.
God, it sounds excruciating.
It really is.
I kind of love it though right now.
Put your phone away.
I don't know if I would go that far. In Dallas, Parcells made the decision to yank me at halftime of a game and throw Romo in there. Really didn't agree with that one. If you're watching this, Romo, you know this is true. The minute that he became the starter, he became pretty big in his own mind. And he was no longer the curious, inquisitive guy. Where that was the difference between him and Tommy. Tommy became the starter. He still was asking all the questions where all of a sudden Romo was the guy that had all the answers.
Damn!
Dude.
What a pregame drive-by.
He even, called him out. Romo,
you know this.
You're watching this.
Damn.
And we all remember, young pup Tony Romo, who would be at Summer Bash.
Yeah.
He was just cool and whatever. And then within, a year, he just became
He
a different
violated
guy.
all of the Parcells
quarterback
rules. But that Alex Smith thing, really, let me focus on that for a second. Horrible.
It's not good.
And this is such good content. It's not necessary.
No.
You didn't need that with
dress
this
it up.
stuff. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
You didn't need that little put your phone away. Now we go to content
talk to this guy. They could have just run the piece.
Yeah.
And had Tom Rinaldi narrated or whoever.
That's good stuff, though, man. Yeah, I guess that's, with the Brady debut, that's what this is about, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's Brady's now taking over. Well, that leads us to the Brady audio, and my God.
It's tough.
I wanted him to do well.
And you've even predicted perhaps he would because he's knows so much about football, and when you hear him just kind of breaking down film or something, it's fascinating.
Yeah, and there's been times where, like, he used to do that thing with Jim Gray.
Yeah, the podcast.
Yeah, and they would – when he would talk at length, to me, he seemed way more engaging than I ever thought of him when he was a player in this league as a player. But it turns out it's tough to just talk extemporaneously for 4 hours and not sound like you've never done it before when you've never done it before.
I don't know. We're going to get to all this, and maybe we do this during the segment, but we've now had 2 former players in that exact same booth doing the exact same thing. So I don't know if it's training through Fox or bad consulting, but they just sound so robotic that they've been stripped of any personality that they've had.
Who's the other one?
Greg Olsen. It's the same thing. It's
they sound exactly the same to me.
They certainly have
except worse because Greg Olsen had been doing it for a few years.
But they do buffering. We're going to get to that, the cadence. But Greg Olsen does seem to have somewhat of a personality, whereas Tom Brady did not.
He's very stiff. The entire broadcast was very stiff.
Like he's too conscious and aware that I'm Tom Brady and there's an image and I have to be a certain way, whereas Greg Olsen is kind of like he knows nobody knows who he is and doesn't care, and he can kind of
Greg.
Yeah, but even like him broing it up with Brohard, it's like, okay, well, who cares? He's just Greg Olsen. Like, people are getting to know him, where Tom Brady has his image he's got to uphold, and he's just guarded for. That's what I think. Maybe he's just not. Maybe he has a crappy personality.
Yeah, and maybe it'll just take time. But it's ironic because one of them signed a $325 million contract, which would seem to be the sort of thing that would allow you to like do your job well and not have to worry about your perception or image or whatever.
I'm not a big fan of KB, Kevin Burkhardt, so I could be jaded here. But he is not doing Brady any service because he's not teeing him up very well. And I pulled some audio where he's making jokes and like not really putting Brady in good positions. Like if you think of Summerall and Madden, Summerall knew how to play off of Madden.
Yeah.
That seat has to allow the color guy to flourish. And KB's just so goofy and trying to be funny, and I'm the cool guy, and I call Aaron Andrews EA.
Why do you hate him so much?
Because he's such a
I've never seen Blake this fired up before.
He's such a bro, and that's not a bro job. And he's trying to make it
it's
one.
Ted Emmerich's job.
You're doing play-by-play.
Ted Emmerich would be great at it.
The best play-by-play guy that we've had, Pat Summerall, said nothing. He was such a minimalist and allowed John Madden to do what he did. You need to allow the color guy to flourish, and KB doesn't do that.
Now in KB's defense, and I have audio to prove it. Sometimes he's wondering, well, when are you going to talk? You're supposed to talk now.
That was Jake's takeaway.
And so now I'm going to just talk again more because my color commentator is not
really filling in the
colorful.
gaps.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is your time here.
But I've got some audio to where I can play what is Brady supposed to say to some of this stuff.
Let's get through it all then. This first one, Blake cut off. It's called Awkward Intro After Months of Prep.
It feels disrespectful.
Game of the week on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon from Cleveland, and a beauty in this week one. The NFL on Fox is back with the Cowboys taking on the Browns, and we say welcome to the broadcast booth. He's Tom Brady, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt, and you're a broadcaster. How about that?
We're here. It's been quite a journey, but I love being your partner.
I'm excited as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. We should start with quarterbacks. That seems to make a lot of sense. Yeah. Cowboys making news.
And I love being your partner.
You're a broadcaster. How cool is this? Yeah, I'm excited. I'm your partner.
Turns out if a guy is like a supreme robot as an athlete, maybe he'll be a robot as a broadcaster also. He also does this really weird thing, which I think is in like 4 or 5 of our cuts, where he'll go, yeah, right. It's like, that's not the time where you talk. I didn't need that at all. I probably do that myself, but you're going to hear that a lot here. I also don't make $325 million.
See, I wonder how much of it is that as well. If Troy Aikman, on his first job, was, hey, we're going to give you the highest profile seat and the highest contract in the game by a mile, we're now going to say, well, Troy Aikman better be pretty damn good. Because I think Troy Aikman's like the best in the game and has been for a long time. But I'm not sure he was the first couple years. Like, he got to ease into it in a 3-man booth. He was certainly the third of 3 men. Whereas Tom Brady is Tom Brady.
A-team, immediately.
And now all of a sudden, he's not the man in the room, though, either. He's got this guy he's never heard of, Kevin Brohard. He's kind of the boss and directing him. But, you know, even Romo at least had Nance, who is Nance. Whatever you think of him, and I don't like him at all, but he's carries some gravitas. Kevin Burkhardt doesn't belong with Tom Brady. Joe Buck does.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember, Aikman went to Europe also.
Even before?
I don't recall.
He was on with, like, Al Michaels and...
I don't recall with Chris Collinsworth. I don't recall the exact timeline, but he put in a ton of reps before he was, like, the main guy. And now they're like, all right, well, it's a Cowboy game. It's week 1. Here you are, game of the week.
Go.
Figure it out.
Be funny.
After months of prep, as Blake said.
All right, we have a couple of EAs here. Aaron Andrews, of course, but if you are Kevin Brohard, you like to use abbreviations?
Save some time.
Yeah, to give Tom more time to talk.
But Kev, you want to talk about...
And
wait, whoa.
She also likes to...
I'm not doing Kev.
Hey, Kev.
She never did this before she was thrown in with this group.
It's Kevin Burkhardt's fault. He
Right.
sucks.
But Kev, you want to talk about anxiety? His center, Cooper Beebe, this is the first time he's ever played this position in a game. Wow. Anxious, baby.
Well, we'll see how it turns out, and we're not going to have to wait long, Aaron.
Wow.
She ends her report with, wow. Anxious, baby.
So EA...
Yeah.
Well, here's just another EA report. This is in the second half.
Let's go downstairs to EA.
A little different tone on the Cowboys side of thing. I actually joked with head coach Mike McCarthy, and I said, come on, you didn't want to go for it? 71-yard field goal? You told us you were going to take advantage of these. He laughed. He didn't laugh, though.
I'll bet he didn't.
Whenever I tell somebody a funny story and they recount it later, they always say, he laughed.
He laughed. He didn't laugh, though, when I said, I got to tell you, Tom Brady throughout this first half has really praised your play calling. I know you're not worried about it. He goes, well, yeah.
They're really making a lot of this game about Tom Brady, too. Like, hey, Tom Brady praised your play calling. Like, you're going to tell a coach that. Like, all right.
Why would I care about that?
Okay,
So,
you know what?
I'm in the middle of a dogfight.
We scored
here.
20. That's pretty much validation for the play calling here.
I don't have a contract.
I know it was her friend that admitted to making up sideline reports, but I'm not so sure she did either of those things with Mike McCarthy.
I know you're not worried about it. He goes, well, yeah, Tom knows what he's talking about. I'll finish up in a minute.
Here's Watson looking to throw.
Oh, well,
outside forward.
KB thought it was funny.
Boy, now I'm waiting with bated breath for the rest. Oh,
okay.
TV.
That's right.
Okay.
That's been an issue. Go ahead, Aaron.
So, yeah, TB, he appreciated all the praise from you. He also said the biggest key for his offense, of course, they were staying in front of the sticks there.
Is this report ever going to end?
It's on Cleveland.
Like I'm in a vortex.
He's looking for them to keep up the pace here, Kev, in the second half.
Kev.
And now for his defense out there. He said, you know, they've really started to take shots on the ball. They just really want to try to make DeShaun Watson go long here in the second half.
Yeah, that's a great point. By the way, impressive stopping and starting skills there, Aaron.
Error!
All right.
I don't want to do this
Let's
anymore.
drive to that lake and throw your computer in it. Air?
TB, he said that
All right, thanks, Air.
Aaron, what is this snapping situation with BB? Tell us more.
Well, TB just mentioned it. This is him and his mother, actually, during the offseason. How about this gal? His dad and his brothers, they're at work. His mom, on her lunch break, she's doing the, here we go, cadence. And I got to tell you, I talked to the quarterback, Dak Prescott. He approves. He loves it. Dak didn't know, by the way, he had never played center before, Kev.
I guess that means he's done a good job.
Hey, Mom, the more you can do.
That's amazing. 3rd and 3 here.
The more you can do.
And then he laughed like it was a funny thing.
There's like 10 things in there I want to talk about.
Dak didn't know, by the way, he had never played center before, Kev.
I guess that means he's done a good job.
Hey, Mom, the more you can do.
That's amazing. 3rd and 3 here.
That's amazing. What accent is that?
Here we go?
Here we go.
So Blake said this morning that he thought that Aaron Andrews turns Irish.
Yeah.
But I think that's because Blake doesn't know what anybody from Ireland sounds like.
I don't think that's true.
To me, when she does it, she sounds like she's from here.
From Cleveland?
Yeah.
She's doing the.
Wait.
Here we go, cadence.
Am I wrong?
Here we go.
Absolutely no one who has listened to Dak's cadence says it like that, other than her.
Here we go.
It's not the first time. It's just a really weird way to recount that.
All right, somebody mentioned the fact that he sounds, TB, sounds similar to Greg Olsen. Just the thing that we picked up on where Greg Olsen will sometimes pause. We call it buffering Greg. He pauses in times that you don't mean to pause.
You lose your internet connection.
And apparently Tom Brady, pretty early on, it was easy to pick this up. Like, boy, he sounds like, for instance, we were watching Colt McCoy. Pretty early on, it was pretty easy to figure out he sounds exactly like if Groobs was doing it.
Yes. Shout out to our friend David Ruff for pointing that out to us. But, yeah, there were multiple times where Colt ended a point, and it sounded exactly like exactly I mean.
Yeah. Anyway, so we got buffering Tom now.
Myles Garrett punched it out on your cue, but Dallas recovered.
It's a big man he's going against, and Tyler Guyton, but just too much power. He's got a great burst off the line of scrimmage. Just rips through and...
Keep talking! Keep talking!
That's why he's reigning Defensive Player of the Year. And
is that the end of the sentence?
Fortunate for Dallas to just be a loss of 4. Still another sack, strip sack fumble.
Yeah, give it to Garrett.
And then he kind of peters out.
Major peter out. Major peter out. And I kind of feel like Brohart recognized it and tried to up the energy a little bit on his own. You know, he's doing like, oh, wow.
Yeah, he's changed his game a bit. Here's buffering Tom after that turpentine punt return.
A 60-yard return for Turpin.
All right, big energy. Now, color guy, go.
Such a dangerous returner, an alum of the UFL. And here he is getting his opportunity, as he has for a few years now. One of the most dangerous, explosive returners in the game. Makes him pay. Again, you see that early in the season. Get some opportunities in special teams. And
all right, is that the end of the sentence?
Well, Tom Turpin.
Nope. Oh, wow. He just...
Dang.
He ended with end.
A lot of hang
What's the
time.
end?
And you see that early in the season. Get some opportunities in special teams. And
well, Tom Turpin.
I guess we're going to break, TB.
Has been an all.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. More buffering.
It's blocked up. Watson still can't find anybody. Now he's in trouble. Gets hit as he throws, and it's incomplete, and the Cowboys will take over.
Talk.
again, another escape to the left, and he's trying to buy some time to give his guys a chance to uncover, but not enough. Really not much there. Force them to scramble and just can't quite uncover Tough day for DeShaun. No answers for this pass rush. No answers for this scheme on Zimmer. No answers on early downs. Not enough offense. Too many penalties.
I had to leave that part in there for you.
Man.
He's just like he's like a physical ellipses. like every single time he starts a sentence, it feels like, all right, ...
Yep. ...
Don't get
Today's Next Gen Stats powered by AWS. If Micah Parsons were playing baseball, he'd be a 5-tool player, Tom.
He sure would be. There's a lot of places for him to align, and Zimmer's going to put him in a lot of places, and he's going to create his own mismatch. There he is on Batonio, forcing him over to Lawrence on the sack. You got to be aware of him on every play. And there he is in the middle. You think he's coming. Next thing you know, you got an overload pressure from the right. So again, where do you put your focus? You put it on him, and then it comes from somewhere else. Not a lot of answers.
Here's the Browns offense.
Again, he just completely bailed on that point.
And here's 1 whole minute of Brady buffering.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't think they're intimidated by anything they saw from the Browns today. I think they realized, hey, this is going to be a great opportunity for our pass rush today. And that's been the story of the game, obviously, playing defensive so well as they have defensively. But again, you go on the road the first game of the season. You're Dallas. You had one of the toughest losses at the end of the last year, getting manhandled by Green Bay, not doing anything right. And if you're Coach McCarthy, you're saying, what did we do this offseason? How are we going to shore this up? What kind of team are we going to have? What kind of attitude are we going to show up with? And I think he's learned a lot from his team today. This is a mentally tough team. It's a reason why they've won 12 straight games 3 years in a row. We talked all
Very
training
clunky
camp
way to
about
say that.
CeeDee Lamb's contract, Dak Prescott's contract. It didn't affect them today. So eliminate distractions, play good football in the regular season, stress those players to get better throughout the year. And that's the kind of team that Dallas wants to be. Battle tested. They've got the defense. A lot of consistency on offense and a great showing.
They have been a dominant home team, but not a great.
I've really never heard anything like this before.
Here's the problem with Tom Brady, too. He didn't say one thing yesterday that, besides when he said he hung out with Julian Edelman or something, he didn't say anything that would indicate to me that he's been in the battles that he's been in. Like, what experience, what did he gain from that you are now transmitting to us?
Your old Phil Simms point.
That if I didn't have you, if I had you in the booth, you could have said it. Like, here's a generic Tom. I labeled this as generic Tom. I don't even remember what it. Wait, no, this isn't. The point is, he's saying nothing, and he's buffering to get to those points. He has not made any point to show that I've been on an NFL field and I am Tom Brady at all.
Well, get used to the next 20 years of your life because he's not going anywhere.
Wow, I don't know.
Dude, no way.
I mean, if you're that bad, if he doesn't get better, they ran Witten.
Yeah, but Witten was Witten. And while I agree that yesterday Brady was as bad as Witten has been, it's Tom Brady, dude. They're going to put him on like The Masked Singer or whatever. They're going to build the whole thing around it.
Here, let me give you some Brohard going into what I'm telling you about Tom Brady having a bag.
Well, you look about the rock and roll history in this town, and look, you go back to the jukebox, right, when the Browns.
By the way,
might have left out one consonant there we needed.
But the right. Did you notice that about Kevin Burkhardt, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's a right guy for sure.
Right,
yeah.
All the time, every time.
You look about the rock and roll history in this town, and look, you go back to the jukebox, right, when the Browns were playing all the hits, and you think about the 64 NFL championship game. They defeated the Colts, shut them out 27-0, right, and flip on another record. Problem is, since 65, the same record's been playing, and that is 0 titles and not a lot of postseason wins, and that's what they're trying to change. That's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's great. Now this place about to get rocking as this #1 defense See if they get some life from the offense.
Yeah.
Just a yeah?
That was it. Just a yeah.
Boy, I do want to say you guys are real popular at those titles before they called it the Super Bowl.
Real popular.
Real proud, yeah.
Was looking around the stadium at championships and all that, and yeah, not much since the 60s or so. Here, I don't remember why I marked this one, but they were doing the Njoku injury report, and then they threw it back to the guys. So why did I put this?
Ankle injury, questionable to return. Certainly the Browns need every offensive weapon they can use and try to get back in this one and continue their momentum, KB.
Yeah, Pro Bowl tight end Njoku led him in receptions last year. That's a problem. Here's Watson looking to build on that momentum.
I think you just heard the word momentum and remembered the
momentum twice, but then he also had to throw it to KB.
Yeah.
Back to you, KB. So now this is a different thing that I call Silent Tom. So there are times when Tom Brady should be talking.
Watson looking to build on that momentum. Lets it fly for Cooper, but miscommunication, but there is a flag. As Kalen Carson was on coverage there.
Just a little too much contact there, huh, Mike?
Yeah, I think so. Just have to.
He throws it to Pereira.
Honestly, I feel like we've heard more
We're looking at the the replay, and don't kind of maybe an opinion. Mike, can you take it?
Play this again real quick. Just that part. All right, I feel like I heard that more than I heard Brady.
Yeah, the little
transition thing.
Yeah, little stinger.
So here's more Silent Tom. After Eric Kendricks, we've talked about him, his sack.
Eric Kendricks already has an interception in this game. He gets home with the sack if it stands.
All right, thanks, Tom. What do you got here?
Pretty much, yeah. All right. Hold on. I got more. Is it blocking schemes? Is it what caused the sack? What do we always want to know? If you're a Browns fan, who gave up that sack? If you're a Cowboy, whatever. I want to know all these things. So let's go back. Again, Silent Tom.
Eric Kendricks already has an interception in this game. He gets home with the sack if it stands.
TB, you're up.
Illegal formation. Offense. The left tackle is uncovered. The penalty's declined. Brings up fourth down.
What about now?
So Eric Kendricks has an interception and now a sack and a half in his Cowboys debut, playing for his former head coach and Mike Zimmer.
Productive day for him.
Man.
Yeah, bring him in. Interception.
Kendricks drafted.
What did he do?
What is he? Is he just watching the monitor, or what is happening?
What? You're the color commentator, not just an opinion like I might have sitting there. Well, that's a productive
day.
Boy, he's had an interception, and now it's a set. I kind of remember that name from the first quarter. He had a interception, and now he has a sack. That's all he offered.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to defend Brady because it's his first game. Okay, the Fox A team. Pereira, KB, EA, TR, they should all be helping and spoon-feeding Brady. But I think the problem here is they are trying to welcome Brady into their ecosystem.
But did they so you thought they had to say, Tom, what did you see there?
No, but there are instances.
That is your whole job just assume I'm saying that after every play.
No, but sometimes, yeah. Or, TB, what'd you see here? Or just whatever. But Kevin never...
It's sort of implied.
I know, but it's his first game. He will get better.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they start doing.
And I don't know if we want to play this or not, but there were times where Kevin just assumes that Brady needs to catch up to the way that they do games. And I think that slot has to help the color guy along at some points.
Well, it shouldn't have to.
And there were times where okay, let's go to Pereira here because this is what we do. Or let's go to Rinaldi because this is what we do. Why not just bring Brady along slowly?
I just think, like Jake said, it is implied after a play happens, now it is your time.
Yeah.
My time is to kind of give the just the nuts and bolts of the play. Your time is to explain to the idiots out there, like me watching, what happened. I mean, you're an NFL player. You were in a huddle. You've won Super Bowls.
That's what you were saying earlier.
What happened on that play? And he just thought, you know what? This is great. I'm sitting next to
that's kind of how it
and
feels.
I'm just watching the game.
He got a free ticket.
But it was his first broadcast. Okay, you said you never felt like you heard Brady say anything about his playing days. Did KB say, hey, Watson under a ton of pressure, what did you do in that situation where you felt like you had no time? There were times where they could have gotten him involved and didn't.
Well, we're going to see, again, for the next 20 years.
No, we're not, because he's going to be working with this doofus next to him. If they would just put him with anyone else, he might be better.
Literally never seen Blake have this much vitriol towards another person
That's
in my
why
life.
I'm ending with KB-focused audio here, okay? Here's KB comedy.
Okay.
Well, Myles Garrett, the Defensive Player of the Year, and, he's pretty good. He is pretty good.
That's your A team right there.
Yeah, I cringed pretty hard at that one, and also it made me think, I can almost guarantee you Tom Brady's never seen Curb.
No way.
He's like, why is he saying it like that? It's weird.
No, I wasn't sure with you coming in the booth. I made sure I did my hair real nice. I figured there'd be some more on cameras with you here today. Just a hunch.
Hey, well, just more we could do up here to provide the fan experience. I do what they tell me. Understand that. I'm still a rookie in here. This is.
Here goes the true weave. True weave. True weave.
God, that's brutal.
Dak Prescott, big day for him, Aaron Andrews.
It's not good.
This one is also awkward.
7-3 Cowboys, their football late in the first quarter as we welcome you to the broadcast booth. Look, it's Mike Pereira. Hi, Mike. It's good to have you back.
Oh, don't leave me hanging.
So good to be back with you guys. It's just great to be here in Cleveland.
We love you, Mike. Of course, Tom Brady's here. It's funny. Until I showed up to the stadium today, I had no idea you were going to be a broadcaster. It was so well under wraps. It's great to have you too, TB, as the Cowboys have started off.
That's horrible.
That's really tough.
They throw it to an in-game commercial, right? And Tom Brady was in the commercial with Julian Edelman, I believe. They were he was a airline flight attendant or something. I don't know. They were doing a commercial. Tom Brady was in it, and it was about being on an airplane.
I'm coming, sir. Is there any truth to the rumor that you and Edelman are going to be in Airplane 3?
Oh, hopefully not. Although I am impressed by Julian's acting skills. He surprised me with a lot of things.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. To me, it sounds like a guy who would make out with his 13-year-old son.
Yeah.
He mentioned his son once on the broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember exactly
they were
why.
Watching the game.
But it was about,
making out with him.
It was making sure you have mouthwash before you kiss your son goodnight.
While getting massaged?
Yeah. So, I have written down on the run sheet here, if we wanted to kind of wrap up Cowboy talk for today. You said local Cleveland radio had something kind of funny.
Yes. This is, I believe, the first call from the Ken Carman show this morning. So
Sports Boy Tony and Ken Carman.
We'll see how they're handling things.
216-474-0092. You ready to go to the phones?
Sure.
All right.
What a pro, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say 00.
00?
Yeah.
He did 0092?
216-474-0092. You ready to go to the phones?
Sure.
All right. Dave in Macedonia.
Sorry to stop it again. That's the exact same right he gave you.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Sure.
All right. Dave in Macedonia, you're first up on the fan. Hello.
Good morning, boys.
All right.
All right.
He's quoting Daniel Caffey. Please. There's some, two numbers. You'll figure them out. 42.9, 144.
What is all this?
Watson's quarterback rating, Mayfield's quarterback rating.
Oh, Christ. I can't do this for one more second. No, that's enough. That's enough. The first call out of the box. box, we're going to do this. The very first call of the box, we're going to do this.
There's more.
No. I know what his quarterback rating was. I know that he was good. Guys, I'm not doing it right out of the damn box. Can I have a little bit of time before we do this? Can I have a little bit of time? That he ain't coming home. He ain't coming back. Only to play us. That's it. He had a great day down there. Congratulations on all his success. I can't undo the trade. I can't undo it.
Hit the mic.
You ready to go to another one?
Go ahead. That must be a big bit here.
That just trolling your local sports talk radio about Baker.
Yeah, it must be with
playing
Baker.
well. Yeah,
I bet he
made the playoffs last year.
He must have been anti-Baker.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the context there.
That's awesome.
It's just such a perfect day,
dude.
To have him ball out, DeShaun Watson just look like a complete fool.
What was it like when you walked out? Right when the second half began, right?
Yeah,
Correct?
Shortly thereafter. Yeah.
It was such a weird, stark because pregame was so fun.
A lot of energy.
Going up, yeah. It was like we're just random, like a lady would be walking with her boyfriend. But she's alone. She's not with this whole group, but she'd be like, here we go, Brown. And then you'd be the woof, woof, and the barking, and everybody's just nut. It was so charged and the whole thing, and jet flyover. I mean, this place was...
That was pretty badass, by the way.
Yeah, it was all... Although, I think you're only saying that because the chemtrails fell down and made us all believe it was badass.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, chemtrails. You know chemtrails, don't you?
Oh, I'm quite aware of chemtrails.
Yeah, anyway, but they had, 8 chemtrails going across the stadium, and I thought it was all to make us... Anyway, the point is... It was such high energy.
Electric, yeah.
And then I walked out in that third quarter, and it was like, just first of all, everybody's sitting like this,
yeah,
with their arms crossed in the stands. And then, if you weren't going to leave because all the money you spent to get in this game, you're sitting like that. But if you were going to leave, and then you're just like, same old team, like it felt like walking out of the Drive with John Elway. Like just
it's
yet
week one.
It's week one, and it felt like the saddest walk ever. It was so fun. It was so fun.
It was fun for me.
Yeah, it was just fun to watch. Well, and that was like the one bet I won all day. So it was fun for me, too.
Happy for you, pal.
No, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for all of us here at the Brothers Lounge. And really appreciate you folks watching on DZTV tonight.
He's just trying to make every promo he can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here on KDFI 27.
Yep.
Got it all right, didn't I?
You did.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't curse this time.
Excellent.
Don't hurt me.